The fact that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be releasing on 3 different consoles on day one is pretty unique. I don't think we've seen a Rockstar Games title ever do that. Now, to be fair, there's also never been 2 versions of an Xbox system, in this case Series S and Series X. And by the time GTA 6 releases, there's a good chance there might be either slim editions or more powerful versions of both of those systems, so it could technically come out on more, but in today's video, we'll be talking about what it's going to look like on the least powerful console, the Xbox Series S. And before we get going, let me know in those comments down below which system you plan to play this game on. Is it going to be PlayStation 5? Is it going to be Xbox Series X or S? Will it be one of the upgraded versions of these consoles, whether it be a Slim or a Pro Edition? Again, let me know in those comments down below. So really quickly, to give you the long story short, in case you guys aren't Xbox guys or on consoles, you have the Series X, which is right now Xbox's premier console, and then you have the Series S, which is sort of a cheaper but also less powerful, I would honestly say more casual version. I have both. I have my Series X for what I would assume is going to be big time games like Grand Theft Auto 6 coming out, and then I have my Series S, which is where I do my more casual gaming on. And so now begs the question, what is Grand Theft Auto 6 going to look like on the most casual console it'll be available for? And honestly, it's not great news. GTA 6 is expected to run possibly at 720p or lower with dynamic resolution on the Xbox Series S, according to an expert from Digital Foundry. They also expect the Series S to maintain visual characteristics at the expense of resolution, which they say might be acceptable for most, and they also expect it to target 1440p and 30 FPS on PS5 and Xbox Series X. I'll actually let you guys take a listen to this video where they're discussing it and sort of the fate of what's expected on the Xbox Series S.
I'm super curious to see what this means for Series S, though. Like, what this will look like on there. Like, obviously it has to work, but this is going to be a serious push for that system, I think, and it'll be fascinating to see it.
30 FPS target, 1440p-ish res so far on some nebulous next-gen console.
Whatever. It's console. Probably a PS5, Xbox Series X target, the trailer, I would say.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So we could assume maybe 720p target.
That sounds really realistic to me, based on all the other games we've seen.
I feel like if they're going this hard on these ray tracing effects, they can't really just like rip them out either. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to turn this off." Like, you need a fallback, and you need to, I'm sorry, art it the right way with the fallback for it to look good. So I think this is one of those cases where they're going to have to make it work. So we'll see what that means.
See things like cuts like that on Series S, and then just the rest of the cuts we've seen for the generation so far. Much lower internal resolution. I would not doubt 720p or even a little bit lower if it's dynamic res. And, cuts down to any of the areas where like memory is a big concern. So textures, maybe unique objects in areas and things like that. But I didn't see anything here where I thought this is a step too far for Series S, based upon what we've seen so far about how games are degraded for that console already.
Now, they actually recorded that video right after the trailer came out. This was actually just brought to my attention, and that is sort of shocking news that the Series S is going to be massively disappointing when it comes to the performance and resolution of GTA 6 running on that system. It's almost a console that won't really be able to run it. And that is a massive problem. And I hope that Rockstar is not using the Series S as sort of like the baseline for what they're developing this game on. I'm honestly hoping that they develop, 2 separate versions. One version that is capable of running on the PS5 and Xbox Series X, and then one version, a more dumbed down one, on the Series S. And I know that might be extremely taxing and expensive and time consuming for them to do, but you would just hate to see a game as masterful as GTA 6 dragged down because they have to put it out on a less powerful system. And honestly, that sounds terrible. 720p, that isn't even considered HD anymore here on YouTube. I mean, I remember when 720p was the standard. I've been around for that long, making videos for over a decade. I remember when 720p was considered HD. Not anymore. That standard has to be set at like 1080p, with wanting to be targeting even higher than that, right around 1440p. It's also kind of a shame that 30 FPS might be what we have to deal with, but that's kind of typical of Rockstar Games titles when they first come out on consoles. Again, it'll be interesting to see if by the time it releases there is a slim or pro version of both of these consoles, and that might certainly change things, but for now, Xbox Series S, it's not looking good. Now, in spite of that less than great news for Xbox Series S, the overall general consensus and theme with Grand Theft Auto 6, regardless of what console you play it on, is that it is going to be the savior of the video game industry and is going to lead to a rebound in 2025. This article from Circana says U.S. video game market to decline in 2024, but Circana forecasts 2025 rebound. The article goes on to say the U.S. video game industry is expected to rebound in 2025 following a difficult 2024. Circana's Future of Video Games projects growth for the U.S. video game market in 2025, driven in part by the expected launches of new hardware platform from Nintendo alongside the highly anticipated release of Grand Theft Auto 6, among other factors. And the article goes on to say, after decades of nearly uninterrupted growth in player count and engagement, the video game market matured during 2020 and 2021. And this shift was driven by consumers who turned to gaming for not only entertainment, but also to stay connected with friends and families. Today, the number of people playing video games and the time spent gaming continue to trail the all-time high set in 2021, while higher prices in everyday spending categories and the return to experiential spending have provided challenges in making more time and dollars available for gaming. Matt Piscatella, a video games industry advisor for Circana, said, "The transition to the new normal in the video game market has not been painless. However, the long-term outlook remains optimistic, with 2025 in particular carrying significant growth potential." Going on to say, this will continue to be a difficult year for video game manufacturers and publishers as an overall spending decline, albeit in the low single digits, is expected. However, the anticipated first half debut of Nintendo's next-gen hardware platform should provide a significant boost, as should the launch of Grand Theft Auto 6, which may just become the biggest entertainment launch in US history. So I don't even think the Xbox Series S can slow down what Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be. It might not be the best console to play the game on, but it is still a system that you can play it on, which can't be said for everything. It's not going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch on day one, and it's not going to be coming to PC on day one. So if a Series S is all you have, it's going to have to work for now. But anyways, I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below. Let me know what you think Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be like on the Xbox Series S. Do you think it's going to be a dumbed down version of what we see on the Series X and PS5, or do you think it's just going to have slight, minute differences? Let me know what you think in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.